Welcome to our Chinese language lesson for HSK 2 learners. In this video, we will focus on essential vocabulary for travel and daily life, including useful phrases for booking a room, checking in, filling out forms, and more. Whether you're a beginner or intermediate learner, this lesson is designed to help you expand your Mandarin Chinese vocabulary and build up your confidence in using the language. So let's get started. 办理，您好，请问您要办理什么业务？您好，我要换钱。办理 This term can be translated to English as to handle or to process, and is commonly used in official or formal contexts, such as government agencies, business offices, or legal proceedings. 办理 refers to the process of taking care of all the necessary steps to complete a particular task or procedure, which may include submitting required documents, filling out a form, and paying any necessary fees. For example, when visiting a government agency or a company, the front desk staff may ask 办理什么业务, which specifically refers to what kind of task or services the visitor needs help with. In the conversation between a bank clerk and a customer, the bank clerk asks 您要办理什么业务, which means Hello, may I ask what business you need to handle or process? The customer responds, 你好，我要换钱, which means Hello, I need to exchange money. As you can see, 办理 can be useful to refer to various tasks and services, including currency exchange, which may be completed at banks or other institutions. Knowing this term can be helpful when traveling or doing business in China, as it's commonly used when interacting with government agencies, banks, or other administrative bodies. 手续，办理入住手续，办理留学手续。Chinese word 手续 which refers to various procedures or formalities. Knowing this word will be especially useful if you're planning to travel or study in China. Let's start with the phrase 办理入住手续, which means to check in. When you arrive at a hotel, you will need to complete some procedures before you can get your room key and settle in. The procedures include filling out a registration form, providing identification, and making payment. Another phrase that uses 手续 is 办理留学手续, which means to handle study abroad formalities. This refers to the procedures that students need to complete in order to study in a foreign country, such as applying for a student visa, submitting transcripts, and enrolling in classes. 入住，您好，我要办理入住。值机，我已经到了机场，正在值机呢。托运行李，这个大行李箱需要托运。We will be focusing on different ways to talk about checking in for travel, such as checking in for a flight or checking in at a hotel. Let's start with checking in at a hotel. In Chinese, we say 入住 to refer to this process. It's important to know this phrase when you are traveling and needed to check into a hotel. Next, let's move on to checking in for a flight. In Chinese, we say 值机 to refer to this process. if you're traveling by plane, you will need to know this phrase in order to check in and get your boarding pass. Finally, we have checking in luggage, which is also an important part of travel. In Chinese, we say 托运行李. To refer to this process, if you have large or heavy luggage that you can't carry on the plane with you, you will need to check it in before your flight. So, to sum up, we have learned 3 important phrases related to checking in for travel. 入住 for checking in at a hotel, 值机 for checking in for flight, and 托运行李 for checking in luggage. These phrases will be useful to know when you are traveling in Chinese-speaking countries. 退房，中午退房，下午坐飞机回家。结账，我们去收银台结账吧。First, let's learn about the concept of checkout or 退房 in Chinese. This term refers to the process of leaving a hotel. For example, you might say 中午退房，下午坐飞机回家, which means I'm checking out at noon and taking a flight home in the afternoon. Another important phrase to know is 结账, which means to settle the bill or to check out in the sense of paying for services. 结账 is an essential phrase to know when you go shopping or dining at a restaurant. For example, after you have finished your meal at a restaurant, you can ask for the bill by saying 结账. Similarly, when you are shopping, you can use 结账 to indicate that you're ready to pay for your items. For example, you might say 我们去收银台结账吧, which means let's go to the cashier to settle the bill. 放，我把行李放在房间里。摆，他把花瓶摆在桌子中央。放 and 摆 are both verbs in Chinese that can be translated as to put or to place, but they have some differences in usage. 放 generally refers to placing something in a relatively stable or fixed position. It often implies that the object is being set down or positioned in a specific location or orientation. For example, you might say, 我把行李放在房间里, which means I put the luggage in the room. 摆, on the other hand, often implies arranging or positioning something in a deliberate or decorative way. It can be used to describe the act of placing something in a specific location, but with more emphasis on the way it is being positioned. For example, you might say, 他把花瓶摆在桌子中央, which means she positioned the vase in the center of the table. Overall, 放 is more commonly used for simply placement or positioning, while 摆 is often used when there is more of aesthetic or intentional element involved. 预定，您预订房间了吗？您有预订吗？订，我要订2张机票。这个菜我要订一份。我订了一份外卖。预订 is a verb and a noun that refers to the act of making a reservation, such as for a hotel room or a flight. For example, someone might ask you, 您预订房间了吗 which means have you booked a room? Or 你有预订吗 which means do you have a reservation? On the other hand, 订 is a verb that can also mean to book or to order. It is a more general term and can be used in various contexts, such as ordering food or purchasing goods. For example, you might say, 我要订2张机票 which means I want to book 2 airplane tickets, or 这个菜我要订一份 which means I want to order 1 serving of this dish. There is no significant difference in meaning between 预订 and 订 in the context of booking reservations. However, 预订 is generally used more specifically for making reservations, while 订 can also be used more broadly to refer to ordering goods or services. For example, you might say, 我订了一份外卖 which means I ordered takeout. 查邮件，查航班，查资料。In Chinese, 查 is a verb that means to check or to look up. Here are some examples of how it can be used. 查邮件 to check email. This is a common used phrase when someone wants to check their email, either on their phone or computer. 查航班 to check a flight. This phrase is used when someone wants to check the status of flight, either to see if it is on time or if there are any delays. 查资料 to look up information. This phrase can be used in a variety of contexts, such as when someone needs to research something for work or school, or when they want to learn more about a topic of interest. Overall, 查 is a useful verb to know when you need to check or look up something in Chinese. 请填一下表，名字填哪里？请把您的姓名、护照号码填在这里。填 is a Chinese verb that means to fill in. It's a useful word to know when filling out forms, applications, or any other document that requires you to input information. Here are some common examples of how 填 is used in Chinese. 请填一下表。Please fill out the form. 名字填哪里？ Where do I fill in my name? 请把您的姓名、护照号码填在这里。Please fill in your name and passport number here. Thank you for watching this Chinese vocabulary lesson. We hope you found this video helpful in expanding your Mandarin vocabulary and improving your Chinese language skills. Don't forget to practice regularly and keep learning. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to check out our other lessons for more Chinese language learning resources. And if you have any questions or feedback, please leave them in the comments below. We would love to hear from you. So, are you ready to take your Mandarin Chinese to the next level? Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell to stay updated on our latest language learning videos. And if you found this lesson helpful, please give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends who are also learning Chinese. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.